advocacy, health screenings and education, care coordination and car seat safety, participant empowerment, referral services, and fatherhood support. To learn more about Great Plains Healthy Start, visit greatplainstravelhealth.org or call one of our 5 service areas today.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Countryside Veterinary Clinic Incorporated, your local large and small animal veterinary hospital and supplier, offering a large variety of animal services, equipped with a haul-in facility to perform services needed for large animals, chute side on the farm to cover your ultrasound and processing cattle needs. Also offering small animal services from wellness exams to surgical needs. Fully stocked with cattle antibiotics, vaccines, and general supplies to get the job done. Dr. Joy has been your local veterinarian servicing the area since 2008. Give her and her team a call today.
There's a lot of uncertainties in farming and ranching today, but one thing is certain. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell are your crop and livestock insurance specialists. Statewide agents have a background in agriculture and work hard to provide growers and ranchers with risk management plans and insurance coverage that fits their business needs. From hail insurance, livestock revenue protection, to multi-peril crop and revenue insurance, Statewide will help you with the right decisions. Statewide Ag Insurance in Chamberlain, Winter, and Mitchell. Locally owned, your dependable partner in crop and livestock protection and equal opportunity provider.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Blankenton and White Lake has proudly served this area for over 100 years and takes great pride in being part of such wonderful communities. We are locally owned and strive to deliver the best service to all of our customers. Please consider us for all your banking needs. Farmers and Merchant State Bank. Personal service, professional solutions. Locations in Blankenton and White Lake. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The right nutrition, animal health, and record management is key to having a profitable cattle program. That's why you want to work with the people at FarmCo, who will take the time to learn your operation and help you grow your business. We are your full-service agriculture provider of feed, seed, animal health, farm, and ranching equipment built on terrific service. Get to know FarmCo locally owned and serving you in Chamberlain, Platte, Winter, and east of Kimball at the Paragon. Visit us online at farmcosd.com. FarmCo, feeding your future.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, your local Farmers Union Insurance agent was there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. More choices, great rates, local agents.
For more information on how Farmers Union Insurance can help you, contact Zach and David in Mitchell.
Overreg Repair has been proudly serving the Kimball area since 1985, offering services for cars, light trucks, semi-tractors and trailers, ATVs, side-by-sides, and any small engine power equipment. They also provide roadside assistance to Kimball and the surrounding area. Stop by their showroom and check out their stock of Gravely zero-turn lawnmowers and side-by-sides. Any business can claim to be the best, but Overweg Repair would rather have their work and loyal customers speak for them. Overweg Repair, hometown repair from people who care.
Agrimax and West River Ag have been in the winter area for a combined total of 9 years. We offer top-of-the-line services and inputs such as chemical, seed, fertilizer application, spraying, and agronomy services with a certified crop advisor on staff. We are a full-service business that is locally owned and operated. We look forward to continuing service to the ag community and cannot wait to help you with all your agricultural needs. Agrimax, shaping the future of ag.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Every farm is unique, but all farmers have something in common: the desire to maximize their land and improve it for the next generation. You need a cooperative that offers peace of mind. AgTegra Cooperative is an ag partner that shares your values and is part of your community. From agronomy and grain operations to energy and feed, AgTegra will link your farm to the future. AgTegra Cooperative.
I can't remember the last time that I cried. I can't remember the American Idol. No. And thanks, sir. And now I get to do what I love for a living, so I'm here with you. Cool. And I just kind of wanted to know, do any of you know Taylor Swift? Yeah. Are you guys ready to sing it?
Back in 1965, at the age of 40, a woman named Vernis found out she was pregnant for the 11th time. But she had developed heart problems over the years, and her doctor told her that if she went through with the pregnancy, there was a very strong chance that she would not live through the labor. So the doctor strongly advised Vernis not to go through with it. The thing is, though, Vernis's first child passed away at 9 months old. And in that moment, a much younger Vernus committed to having a big family. As many kids as she could have, so in her mind, she knew what she was gonna do no matter what anybody else said. So she decided to go through with it, even if it meant giving up her own life. And she went on to have a healthy baby girl. And yes, Vernus did live through the labor, and for about 45 more years. And that little girl grew up to have 5 kids of her own, 2 girls and 3 boys. And one of those boys is talking to you right now. My name is Corey Greenwood, and I'm excited to be here with y'all today. You excited to be out of class right now? Come on, make some noise! Yeah, you can cheer for that. Now, I'm going to share some of my story with you guys today, but don't get confused over the next 50 minutes. I'm not here for me. I'm not here to tell some stories, maybe have some of you come up afterwards and tell me thank you or good job, even though that feels really good and kind of do need the validation. I'm not here for that. I'm here for you because your story matters. How you live it matters. And yes, even though it doesn't always feel like it as a middle or high schooler, every single one of you in this room matters. But before we get into all that, y'all want one more song from Hannah? Y'all want one more song? Alright, if you have your cell phones on you, let's take the flashlights out. Let's take it back to the 80s, y'all. Come on, sing it if you know it.
I can stand up for this. This song's only as good as the crowd, so I gotta know if you're the best high school of this week. You ready? Just a sweet girl, living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised South Detroit. Took the midnight train going anywhere.
assembly programs like this, I would sit somewhere, I'd be with my boys, right? I'd be the one saying things out loud that I shouldn't be saying out loud, you know what I'm talking about? I'd be the one that just couldn't resist doing stupid shadow puppets into the light, you know what I'm talking about? I'd be the one that even if I didn't know every word of that Taylor Swift song, even if it was a little bit of fun, even if I was kind of glad I showed up to school today, even if it was hitting home a little bit more than I had bargained for that day, I couldn't let anybody know! Because big, bad Junior Corey had an image to protect. Can't let anybody know! That something in school might actually be a little fun. Can't let anybody know! I'm actually paying attention. Can't let anybody know that I don't know how to think about something other than girls. Because when I was your guys' age, I thought that the most important thing was what everybody else in this room thought of me. Man, I did completely irrational things to never put myself in a vulnerable position, or so I thought. Like, I remember one specific time, I was in 7th grade, and my buddy Robert, he threw a dance party. Anybody in here been to a dance party? No. Okay. For those of you who haven't, let me take you back. It was in the basement. All concrete walls, no windows, kind of like this gym. The lights were off. The disco ball was going. Whoa. The strobe lights. Oh, you better believe they was flowing. No, I didn't grow up in the 70s. I'm not that old. We just thought it was cool. They haven't grown out of that phase. Oh yeah, and my buddy Robert, who was throwing the dance party, his nickname, y'all ready? His nickname was DJ Lamp. So you know he was singing the tunes. Best 7th grade DJ you ever met. So we're dancing, we're having a good time. All my friends were there. Girls were there. Oh yeah, and there was like one real cute girl that I wanted to dance with. The only problem was, what's your name right here in the hat? Yeah. What is it? Garrett? The only problem, Garrett, is she was over on the other side of the room, like talking to, dancing with, paying attention to my cooler, much better looking friends, not paying attention to me at all. She was over there with you, Garrett. I'm like, that ain't good. Like, how am I gonna dance with her if she doesn't even know I exist? So I went over to DJ Lamp. I'm like, yo, DJ. He's like, wicka, wicka, what's up? I'm like, hey there. I'm like, hey, you see that girl over there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I want to dance with her. He's like, okay. Like, what do you want me to do about it? I'm just the DJ. I'm like, well, see, DJ Lamp, there's only one problem. She doesn't know I exist. Because she thinks Garrett is hot stuff. Not paying attention to me at all. And he's like, that's not good. I said, no, it's not. I said, so this is what I need you to do, DJ. I need you to play me a song that I can show off my moves and let her see that Garrett ain't got nothing on the Seameister. And he's like, man, I'm DJ Lamp. Of course I can hook you up. He's like, you're up next. I'm over there stretching in the corner. I'm like, oh, it's about to go down. Garrett don't know what's about to hit him, but don't want to pull a hammy. That would be embarrassing, right? So he hits play, and I'm all like, peace up, A-Town. At least in my 7th grade mind, she was. And I'm like, okay, this is good, the plan's working. She finally notices me, for whatever reason. But I can work with that, right? But then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no. not here, not now. My stomach started gurgling. I'm like, come on, Corey, this is your moment. She finally notices you. Just keep dancing. Don't think about it. It'll go away. But then, you know that sweat? That sweat that comes over you when you know you got to go. Like you got no more time. And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta come up with a plan fast. I'm like, okay, the bathroom's upstairs, everybody's downstairs, I can run upstairs, go to the bathroom, give it down, never even know. So I run upstairs, I go into the bathroom. We don't need to get into that. But then, everybody started walking up the stairs! Because at 7th grade dance parties, at least when I was growing up, the parents were there, and they made like pizza and had pop and chips, or whatever you guys call that out here. Yeah, everything was conveniently done in that moment! Plan A had been ruined, damn it! But, because unlike any of you guys, the most important thing to me back then was what everybody else said about me or thought about me. I couldn't just risk walking out of that bathroom in front of my silly little 7th grade friends, risk them saying something stupid in front of that girl, make me look weird or whatever for stinking up the bathroom. So I'm like, just wait it out. They can't be up here forever. Now I was in there for what seemed like days. Now there was cell phones back then, I'm not that old, but I didn't have one yet. My mama didn't love me that much. So I wasn't in there like Snapchat, Instagram, or making TikToks. No, I wasn't able to do what all y'all girls do and just spend hours on the For You page. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Where did that go?
You don't know.
No! It was just me, myself, and I bored out of my mind! After like 4 more days, I heard one of my friends from the kitchen say, "Where's Corey?" Uh-oh. Like, I gotta do something, right? People don't just disappear from 7th grade dance parties, at least not when I was growing up. They're gonna call the cops, call my mom, think I got abducted, eaten by a bear. I'm like, okay, I look around, there's a window. I can jump out the window, run around the front of the house, walk in the front door, just say I was outside cooling off, getting some fresh air. I mean, they'd understand. I mean, I was dancing, I was sweating, kind of like I am now. They get it. The only problem was, it was the 2nd story of the house. And it was the middle of winter. I live in Minnesota, y'all. You know Minnesota, South Dakota winters. They suck, right? It gets cold. Unlike any of y'all, I had made a lot of poor life decisions up to that point in my life, but this was not about to be one of them. I don't want to fall out the window, break my ankle, get stuck out there, get hypothermia, and die. I mean, this girl, she's cute, but she were dying over. I'm only 12. I got a lot of life left to live. But I had to do something. I thought of every other possible option. I couldn't think of anything other than to just face it and deal with it. So I took a couple deep breaths in. Thought about my family back home. I grabbed the door handle. I opened the door. I stepped out, prepared for the worst. And when I got out there, nobody said anything about me being in the bathroom. Like, why would they, right? I was doing something that every single one of you in this room does. At least you should. If you don't, you need to go to the doctor. For real, it's a very serious medical condition. I Googled it. Ain't good. Y'all know Google knows everything. That's how you write your papers. You know what I'm talking about. But because I thought somebody might possibly say something to make me look silly, weird, whatever, all because of a thought in my head of what y'all might think about me or what you might say about me, I hid in that bathroom. All because of something that I thought was going to be on the other side of that door that was going to be a little uncomfortable. That was going to be a little awkward. That I thought was going to, disrupt my good vibes. That I just would rather not deal with. That actually didn't even happen. I hid in that bathroom. Missed out on half the party. They ate all the food. The girl, I still didn't get to dance with her because I was hiding in the bathroom the whole time. All because of what I thought somebody might say or think about me. Where do you hide? What do you hide behind when life gets tough. See, the reality is, even though we would never admit it out loud, we've all kind of been wearing masks long before COVID hit, huh? Maybe we dress a certain way, we act a certain way, we do things that we're really not proud of. We're always in trouble running around doing all this stuff, and we're stressed out and anxious at the end of the day, tired of having to live the lie and tell the stories, but you just desperately want to fit in somewhere. So instead of doing the right thing, you're always caught up in all the wrong things because it seems like the only people who give you attention are the ones that are always trying to get you to compromise your morals and your values. Maybe you treat people like garbage, not because you actually believe that's how you should treat people, but because your friend group said, hey, if you want to be friends with us, you can't be friends with them. And it seems like the only time they think you're tough and the only time they think you're funny is when you're tearing somebody else down and making fun of them for whatever reason. Maybe, like I said, you're always caught up in the drama. You're always seem to be in the wrong situation, always in trouble. Not because that's what you want to do. You're always doing silly things just to try to get a laugh, just to try to get some attention, because it seems like the only time that people actually know who you are is when you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. And we've all been there. Like, if we were honest with ourselves today, I know that it's hard to hear. I know it just got a little uncomfortable, right? It was a lot more fun watching me make a fool of myself, Garrett, dancing or whatever you want to call that, right? Shaking my little booty, right? Whatever you want to call that. It was a lot more comfortable talking to your friend like, who is this weirdo and why did we let him come to our school today, right? It was a lot more comfortable when I was the one up here making a fool of myself. But all of a sudden it got a little bit close to home, right? We're really good as people. I'm no different than y'all that whenever something makes us dig a little bit deeper than we're ready for, we think we're ready for, whenever something makes us think a little harder than we want to, whenever something makes us confront our demons and not just live in a fairy tale world, all of a sudden we become the best NFL football player with the best stiff arm spin move in the world. We're like, whoa, I'm just gonna leave that conversation right over there, right? Good vibes only. We got t-shirts with it, right? Yeah, we'll save that for a later date. I'm just gonna go do this and do that, and maybe I can distract myself, right? We're really good at doing the fun thing even when the right thing is the hard thing to do. We're really good at convincing ourselves that it might just go away if we just distract ourselves enough. I'm no different than y'all, but if we don't just waste the next 40 minutes and we're actually like honest with ourselves, like more honest than we thought we were gonna be on a random Friday afternoon. And we've all been there. We've all hid behind something to try to be someone for somebody else, or try to get some sort of attention or whatever, because we didn't think they would want what was on the other side of that mask. We didn't think they would want the broken pieces and the questions and the doubts and the person who we really are. So instead, we just keep living the lie, stressing ourselves out, trying to live up to all these expectations so you can prove that you're good enough for everybody else. We've all hid behind something to try to be someone for somebody else, but we're not meant to stay there. Now don't worry, I didn't come here to yell at you. I didn't come here to shame you for what you're doing or not doing in your life. I didn't come here to try to make you feel bad about any of that stuff. I didn't come here to try to get you to think that I'm smart or that I have this, that I'm perfect or have this thing called life figured out. I didn't come here to try to get you to think that I'm cool or funny or any of that stuff. Trust me, in case you haven't figured it out by now, I am way more jacked up than any of y'all in this room, okay? I'm perfectly okay with being the weirdest person in here, all right? I'm gonna sleep just fine no matter what y'all think about me. I'm gonna cry a little bit. My mom won't tell me to be okay, and it will eventually. I didn't come here to yell at you because I know being a teenager is hard. I know it's different than when I was a kid. I can't pretend anymore, right? Used to try to convince myself that it wasn't that long ago, but yes, I am getting older. My knee does hurt from that stupid little dance, Garrett, and I am bald underneath this hat. It ain't that bad. Stop that. Hey. Garrett? How old are you? 16, I'm 32. Half of your life You have with that hair left. You shouldn't wear a hat every day or you'll end up like me. Make sure you take good care of it. Wash, rinse, repeat. All right? Don't wash it too much though, because it's not good for it. It'll dry it out, all right? Take good care of it while you got it, because eventually you look like me. Nobody wants to. Well, all right. It used to be pretty easy to take a step back. It used to be pretty easy that when the world was falling apart, when it was unraveling at its seams, when everybody at school was being so mean and so terrible like they could be in middle and high school, when everything was falling apart, you could just go home, shut it off, reset, refocus, and get ready for the next day. When you had some difficult people in your life, you could shut it out and build up the energy for the next day to deal with them. When you could build up the energy to deal with a certain situation, you could shut it out and just breathe and relax and reset and refocus and build up the energy that you needed. But nowadays, it ain't like that, is it? Even out here in small town South Dakota, nothing ever shuts off, does it? Everything's 24/7. Social media, cell phones, internet, news, nothing ever shuts off. It's really cool and incredible on one hand and kind of not in the same, right? Social media is really cool how connected we can be, how we can talk to people all over the world and we can show pictures and we can use our creativity, and it's really exciting until it's not. See, now that everybody has social media, everybody's got an opinion, right? They don't even have a clue where Kimball, South Dakota is on a map, but they certainly gonna tell you what they think you should be doing, right? They certainly gonna have an opinion with their little thumbs on their little phone, right? Comment on your video about what you should be doing, commenting about what they think you should believe, all of this stuff. It's really cool how you can push a button on a cell phone and somebody's face pops up on the screen like they're right there in the room. You don't have to write letters and wait weeks and months to talk to people spread out all over the world. All you got to do is push a button. It's really cool how you can push a button on Amazon and turn around and Jeff is already standing there in your kitchen and here you go. How did you know I needed that? I know everything. And we know they spying on us, but 2-day shipping's just too darn convenient. It's really cool and convenient until it's not, right? Because when we do need it to slow down, when we do need it to shut off, when we do need to catch our breath, it doesn't care. It just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's kind of hard to know who to believe sometimes. It's kind of hard to know who to trust anymore. Everybody's telling you if you don't know what you're doing today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you're going to get left behind. Just fake it till you make it. Don't slow down. Faster, 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 faster. Just get new technology to help you go faster. Get a new app, do this, do that. Don't slow down, just keep going. It's kind of hard to catch your breath some days, huh? Life's kind of like a roller coaster ride, am I wrong? Yeah. Some days you're on top of the ride. Everything's going great. Life at school is great, life at home is great. Everything you could ever want, all the friends in the world, you're getting invited to everything you want to be invited to. Whatever you think success is to you, it's happening. Grades, sports, popularity, friendships, theater, art, whatever it is. It seems like everything you're touching is turning to gold. That girl that you think is so cute, yeah, she's staying up late talking to you instead of studying for the test. That boy that you think is so fine, he picking you up and taking you on McDonald's dates. He taking you to Arby's. He be like, hey baby girl, you get whatever you want. You want the beef and cheddar with the mozzie sticks? You get that. You don't have to order off the value menu because I value you. He treating you like the queen that you deserve to be treated like. You walking around this school, everybody thinks they want to be you. Everybody thinks they want your life. They're all jealous of you. You're like, yeah, I'm the queen of this place. I'm the king of this place. I don't know if life could get any better. And just when you think it can't be taken right out from under your feet, you wake up the next day, you're going downhill so fast, side to side, upside down, you want to throw up, you want to get off the ride. Maybe you wake up to that conversation, that text message, Snapchat, or Venmo request. How the heck do you guys communicate nowadays? Facebook. And the person says, hey, you remember the last time we saw so-and-so? Yeah, they're not here anymore. Maybe that friend that you thought was going to be there for you through everything stabbed you in the back so hard that you don't know if you'll ever get that knife out. Maybe somebody you loved and who was supposed to protect you hurt you in such a way that you don't know if you can trust anybody ever again. Maybe you have to put that pet down and felt like a family member because they've been there since the day that you were born. Maybe that college who's been telling you all along that you're going to get in and you've been banking on it, this is going to be your way out, this is going to be your ticket, your free ride, this is going to be the thing that changes everything. All of a sudden they send a letter out of nowhere saying, hey, I'm sorry to inform you, but it's not going to work out. Maybe that scholarship that you were banking on, all of a sudden in a moment, you blow your knee out and it's gone forever. Maybe your parents sit you down for that conversation that you knew probably would happen, but you desperately hope never would. Life's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Anybody like roller coasters? No. Y'all know what they are. I've been waiting to tell that one. Y'all crazy though, I don't like roller coasters. I want nothing to do with them. I wish they were never invented, actually. I'm way too old to be dealing with those things. It takes me like 27 days to stop walking around like I'm on a ship sailing at sea. It's not good. But my daughter Macy, she loved roller coasters. Of course, that's just the way parenting works, right? Everything we love, you hate. Everything we hate, you love. I don't know, it's science. So of course, my daughter Macy loved roller coasters. I gotta introduce you guys to her real quick. This is Macy. Everybody say aw. Aww. You didn't say it. Everybody say aw. Aww. Thank you. Macy was the sweetest little girl ever. Like, when she was little, all she wanted to do was hold babies and take care of people. She was the mom of the group, if you know what I'm talking about. She was the one who made sure everybody got along, who made sure everybody was fed, who made sure everybody knew they were loved, who just wanted to take care of everybody, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, she took care of me. Like, she didn't make me dinner and put me to bed. That would be weird, that's my job. But like, for example, she knows I'm allergic to cats. Like, I'm not gonna die if I'm around them, like, I just can't breathe. So anytime we were around a cat, we could have been outside on a 500-acre farm. If she saw a cat and I was with her, she would run up to that sucker and, I'm just kidding. She would say, hey, excuse me, my dad's allergic to you. Come on, just move along your dad that way. Yep, come on. Let's go. Yep, chop, let's go. Like, she would stay between me and that cat to make sure it couldn't get close enough to take my breath away. It was the sweetest, cutest thing ever. She was the sweetest little girl until you got her in an amusement park. And then she turned into a savage. Let me explain. A while back, she was going into a new school. She wasn't switching districts, it's just her school was a little bit bigger than your guys' schools. In 3 grades, there was about 700 students. So there was 4 different buildings that you went to as you got older. And she was going into 3rd grade, and so she was going in with the big, bad 5th graders, right? And she was really sweet, really kind, but it took her a little while to warm up to people, like maybe some of y'all. So she was just really nervous how the new school year was gonna go, right? Like, it seems like you gotta make all new friends, even though it's like the same people going into the grade with you, but it's just kind of, makes you anxious and all that stuff. And she's coming home, all the rumors that get spread through schools. She's like, Dad, I hope I don't get that teacher. I hear she yells a lot. I'm like, you don't even know her. Dad, I hope I don't get that teacher. I hear he gives homework on the weekends. I'm like, girl, you're going into 3rd grade. Dad, does this stuff that happens on TV really happen? Like, are swirlies still a thing? Do I fit in a locker? Dad, help! I'm like, girl! What in the world? What is PBS teaching? No more Arthur, my gosh. Francine, always. Now, I take my summers off too, and I wanted to enjoy the last little bit of summer before the craziness of my job and the travel and all that started, but there was no way I could relax with all these nonsensical, silly goose university things going on in our home. Now, I tried, Garrett, but sometimes positive self-talk just doesn't work. Sometimes you gotta go with some good old-fashioned distraction, right? So I was like, hey, Macy, what's one fun thing you want to do before school starts to get her mind off of thinking about everything she was anxious about? Smart? Yes. Yeah? Tell me I'm smart.
Smart.
Say, thank you. Say you're smart. Thank you. She said I'm smart. This is the nicest thing anybody said to me there in this program. Well, second nicest. And she's like, all right. I don't think I should have said that. She's like, all right, Dad, let's go to Hawaii then. And so I called our pilot Ted, and he flew our private jet back to our private airspace back in Rochester, Minnesota, and we flew to Kona, Hawaii, and we spent 2 weeks there. We have a little beach house, and we got, I'm just kidding. I said, girl, get Garrett sat up like he's rich. I should listen to him. I hate it. I should still listen. I'm like, girl, get real. Like, who the heck do you think your dad is? Like, I ain't some sort of baller. Like, what's one fun thing within 2 hours of us that we can take the minivan to? Hey, don't laugh. That thing was bougie. Stow and go seats. Comfortably sit 7. Hey, Garrett. You're darn right you do. Hey, for all y'all, all of his friends who want to be a man like him, I got some advice for you, all right? Be a man, drive a van. All y'all girls laugh until you want to go to McDonald's. He's got the room, all right? And she's like, all right, Dad, fine, whatever. Let's go to Valley Fair then. Now, Valley Fair, as some of y'all know, is an amusement park back by Minneapolis, Minnesota, about an hour and a half from where I live. Now, I hate roller coasters. Pretty sure she just said this because she wanted to torture me for not taking her to Hawaii, but whatever, wanted to be a good dad. So me, my friend Amber, and Macy, we went to Valley Fair, and this is where I met Savage Macy. The first thing she sees when you walk into the park is this ride called North Star. It is a 230-foot high swing that hurls you through the air at 40 miles an hour. She sees this thing, starts foaming from the mouth, gets this look in her eye that I've never seen before, and goes, Dad, let's go on that one. I said, I'm not going on that one. You're gonna have to go with Amber. So her and Amber go and get in line for this ride. And if I'm being honest, I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm standing outside that gated area. You know how they put that fence around the bottom of those rides in case kids fall off so you can get by them and stuff. So I'm standing outside that gated area and I'm freaking out. I'm like, look, don't look, don't look. You gotta look in case something happens. You gotta at least try to help, but you can't look. You're gonna pee your pants, gonna pass out. I was a hot mess. People look at what's wrong with this guy. It's supposed to be fun. The ride finally gets over and I'm like, oh, thank God we can go home now. She runs up to me and she goes, Dad, that was awesome! She looks over at this ride called Steel Venom, which is bigger, stronger, scarier, faster. It goes about 60, 70 miles an hour, and she goes, Dad, let's go on that one. I said, no. I'm not going on that one. You're going to have to go with Amber again. She's much braver than I am. And stop talking like that. You're scaring me. You're scaring Garrett. Now, this happened more times than I care to admit. But after a while, I could tell she was getting kind of bummed out. Like, she didn't have to say it out loud for me to know what she was thinking. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You got somebody like that in your life? You can just see it in their eyes and you know you're about to die if you don't get out of that situation real quick. I knew what she was talking about. I knew what she was thinking. Like, come on, Dad, why did you even bring me here if you're just going to ruin all the fun? Come on, Dad, why are you so lame? Come on, Dad, like you're some big, bad motivational speaker, teach you to try new things and face their fears. What if I told him the truth about your son being chicken? That's deep. Can't let my baby girl think her dad's a fraud. So I puffed out my chest. Dumbest thing I've ever done. I look over at Macy. I said, Macy, the next ride you want to go on, Your dad, your hero, will go on it with you. And her eyes lit up, and she started looking around Valley Fair for what ride she was going to take Dad on, and she saw this. And she said, Dad, let's go, sucker. And I said, okay. So we go and get in line for Delirious. I'm secretly hoping, wishing, praying that a storm would show up to shut this park down so I didn't have to ride this stupid thing. But I didn't have to let her down. Wasn't my luck that day. So we get in the little car, we sit down, we pull that harness over us. You know what I'm talking about? The hard rubbery plastic thing, straps in the middle. Peter from Valley Fair with like a half-eaten peanut butter and banana sandwich in one hand, texting his mom or grandma in the other, comes over and actually he's checking to make sure everything's good and safe and locked in. You know what I'm talking about? No. Do they really even check? No. Not a chance. Now I look over at Macy and there's like a 6-inch gap between where her shoulders are and where the harness is, because she's short, right? Wow. But I didn't have time to worry about that. I gotta focus on my breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. If I'm unconscious, I can't help do anything. Just look straight ahead, it'll be over before you know it. So the ride starts and it goes around, and around, and around, and the next time around it stops, upside down. I look over at Macy and she's falling out of her seat. I go to grab her, but I can't reach. But right before she fell all the way off that ride, that harness caught her. Her butt came off the seat 6 inches until her shoulders met the harness. You know what I'm talking about? You ever been on a ride that goes upside down? There's like always that moment, right? There's always that moment before it clicks in where you're kind of free falling. There's always that moment where you kind of question everything, where you think you're gonna die, right? There's always that moment that no matter how many times you've been on that ride before, it still gets to you. There's always that moment that no matter how much trust you have in the park that you're in, you always kind of second guess it in that moment until it clicks in. You're like, oh my gosh, I've seen this on YouTube, why is this happening? Oh my gosh, I should have said goodbye to my cats. I should have told my mom I loved her. I'm going to be remembered like that. Oh my gosh, I should have made better decisions while I had a chance. Oh, you're kind of freaking out internally, and then it clicks in, and all of a sudden you're tough again. You look over at your buddy, he's like, woo-hoo! Like you didn't just pee your pants. Even though in that 6-inch free fall from when Macy's butt came off that seat to when her shoulders met that harness, she thought she was gonna die. Even though in that 6-inch free fall from when Macy's butt came off that seat to when her shoulders met that harness, she probably tinkled her pants just a little bit. Even though in that 6-inch free fall from when her butt came off that seat to when her shoulders met that harness, she was pretty stinking terrified. That harness did exactly what it was supposed to, did it not? Kept her safe, and it kept her in that ride. Even though it was scary, even though she doubted it, even though she kind of wanted to throw up a little bit, the harness was there the entire time to do its job, was it not? To keep her safe and to keep her in that ride. Who's your harness? Who do you surround yourself with, guys? That when the ride of life has you hanging upside down with nothing to hang on to, will keep you from falling all the way off your ride. So you guys know, even you younger middle schoolers know, right? You know there's gonna be days when you fall, right? You've lived long enough to know that, right? You know there's gonna be days when all the goals and all the hard work, when all the planning, when everything that seemed to be going so smooth and so perfect, all of a sudden looks like somebody dropped a grenade on it, right? There's gonna be days when everything you thought was working so smooth and everything you thought that was protecting you, all the jokes and the popularity and maybe the substances, the parties, the attention isn't enough to just make it go away. There's going to be days when he don't want to talk to you anymore, days when she won't look at you anymore, days When you don't even want to show up to this school building because people are saying so many terrible things about you, whether it's true or not. Days when you want to go dig a hole and never see anybody ever again because you've convinced yourself that it's better to be alone than to have to face the embarrassment from what everybody else found out about your past. You're so ashamed of the things you've been through. You're so ashamed of the things people are saying. You're so ashamed of the mistakes that you made. And for some of you, there's even going to be days when you question if it's worth taking another breath. And those are the days, guys, when it's so important to have people around you who know the real you. Behind the masks, behind all that stuff that we hide behind, thinking it's protecting us from having to ever go through anything difficult. Behind all that stuff that we think is protecting our reputation. Behind all that stuff that we think is protecting the good vibes. Behind all that stuff that we think is going to keep us from having to ever face and confront our demons. Behind all that stuff that we hide behind thinking that it's going to keep us from ever having to actually take anything serious. People who can step in on those days when that stuff isn't enough and keep you from falling all the way off your ride. Now, when I was your guys' age, I didn't think I needed anybody. I thought the girls, the popularity, the jokes, the parties, I thought all that was enough to keep everything going. If I could just distract myself enough, maybe I would wake up one day and it would all be okay. If I could just get enough people to be jealous of me, maybe it would make everything go away. I didn't trust anybody, I didn't listen to anybody. So when people said things that I'm saying to you, I just let it go in one ear and out the other, like a lot of you were tempted to do. But then the ride of life, it took a hard turn on me, and that's why I'm here. See, I've been hung upside down literally on that stupid delirious ride, and figuratively on the ride of life. The thing that affected me most when I was your guys' age, the thing I wanted more than anything else. See, I had what you guys think that you want. I had everything you think is going to make your middle school and high school lives so much more exciting and more fun. I had friends. I got invited to all the cool things that people thought they had to be invited to. I played football, started both ways. We made it to state. I went to a football school, so as long as we were winning games, we could do whatever we wanted. We got all the attention. Everybody wanted to be us. Everybody wanted to sit with us. The girls fought about whose jersey they were wearing on Friday nights. Life was good, right? I could pretty much do whatever I wanted. I could hang out with whoever I wanted. I could stay out as late as I wanted. I could do whatever I wanted. My mom loved me, but she was busy working 2 jobs with 5 kids. She couldn't check on all of us. So I was in 7th grade, showing up to senior high parties, being the most messed up person in the room. Everybody thought they were jealous of my life. Everybody would make comments about how lame their life is and how strict their parents are, and wish that they could run around and do all the things that I was doing, and I let them believe it. I would say, yeah, it sucks to suck. You wish you had my life. I let them believe I was living the dream, but what they didn't know is that underneath all of that stuff, man, I was a messed up kid. Even though that stuff was fun, even though that stuff was good for a moment, it felt pretty awesome for a second. At night when nobody else was around, man, it was the one thing I wanted more than anything else in the world. And that was a relationship with my dad. He messed me up. I made a lot of mistakes because of it, like some of y'all, trying to fill that void, trying to numb that pain, trying to keep people at an arm's length away to make sure that they couldn't get close enough to see that there was actually some broken pieces behind that cool, calm, and collected exterior, trying to make sure people only saw the cool Corey, the funny Corey, that doesn't care about anything because nothing could ever hurt him, Corey, trying to make sure they only saw the Corey I thought they would think was tough, trying to make sure they only saw the Corey I thought they would think was cool, trying to make sure they only saw the Corey that I thought they would accept and the Corey that I thought that they wanted to see. But underneath all that stuff that people thought they were jealous of, I would go from feeling worthless and depressed because my own dad didn't even want to spend time with me, to being angry and lashing out, just trying to find someone or something to fill that void. It was that feeling of him being my hero and wanting nothing more than for him to be there and care about me on one hand, and on the other just being so stinking mad at him and wishing that he would go away forever. After he left my mom when I was 14 years old, we rarely talked. The few times a year we did see each other were just awkward. It was like that all the way through high school, but then after I graduated, he did reach back out to me. He wanted to try to have a relationship. He wanted to try to start fresh, to right some of those wrongs, but even though I had spent so many nights wishing that he would see me, wishing that he would want me, wondering if there was anything I could ever do to get his attention and make him proud of me, even though that's all I ever wanted in the moment when I possibly could have had an 18-year-old Corey was way too bitter, way too angry. I wasn't willing to let go of the past, so I said, no way, forget it. You had your chance. Get lost. You ever said something you didn't mean in a heated moment? Wish you could get the words back, but they're gone forever. So it continued like that. And then January 5th came, a night that I remember for more reasons than one. You see, it was 7:30 and I had just got off work at the Mayo Clinic back in Rochester, Minnesota, and I hadn't looked at my phone since like 5:30 at my last break. I know, 2 hours without my cell phone. What? Unlike any of y'all, I was kind of addicted to social media, so I couldn't wait to get caught up on all the latest and greatest what I had missed in that last 2 hours. Like, did I have any notifications? No. Checked my phone before I could even punch out for the night. I pulled my phone out to see if I had any text messages. Didn't have any. See if I had any missed calls. I had one, and a voicemail from my dad. It seemed strange because I had never got a voicemail from him in my entire life. So I went to it right away. I clicked on it, and this is what I heard.
Yeah, this is your dad. Just wanted to let you know that I always did love you, Corey. Bye.
I was overcome with emotion, so you guys got to know something about me. I was 19 years old at the time that my dad left me that message, and like some of you in this room, I had waited my entire life up to that moment to hear him say those 3 words to me. It was the first time that I ever heard my dad tell me he loved me. But unfortunately, it was also the last. Because about 2.5 hours later, through a long series of events that I don't have time to get into today, on the side of the road back home in Racine, Minnesota, where I grew up, my dad ended his life by suicide. I was the last family member to talk to him. I begged him not to do it, I pleaded with him, and he still did. It was 10 days before he became a grandpa to my Mason. And we buried him on my little brother's 18th birthday, his senior year of high school. Seems kind of strange, huh? His 18th birthday? Why would you do that? You could have picked any other day. Well, that was my grandma's gift to us because she blamed us for what happened and she never wanted us to forget. For the next 2 to 3 years, I beat myself up. I replayed everything I'd ever said, everything I'd ever done. The regret was ruining my life. I thought it was just a lost cause, just damage goods, like there was no way out. Man, I thought it was my fault. Our own grandma looked us in the eyes, in our eyes on the day of the funeral and said, "What are you doing here? Who are you trying to fool? You didn't even love him. Who are you trying to fool right now? If it wasn't for you, I'd have my son. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be here right now." I couldn't cry, I couldn't laugh, I couldn't feel any emotion because whatever I did feel was the wrong thing to be feeling, if you know what I'm talking about. Everybody judging every single thing like I had no right to even be sad. I didn't think there was anything I could ever do to be a good friend, to be a good dad, to be a good son, to be a good person. I didn't think there was any way that anybody would ever be able to meet me again and see me for who I actually was and not just the mistakes that I made and the people that I hurt and the stupid things I ran around doing as a kid. I didn't think there was any hope, so why even try? I didn't think I would ever be able to do anything to make a difference or ever be able to have any relationships that they could see past all that stuff that I did. I thought I was just another statistic just bound to fail. Maybe everybody was right about me. Maybe everybody did see something in me. Maybe I am just bound to fail. Maybe I am just going to end up addicted to drugs, doing stupid things like a lot of the friends that I grew up with. Maybe they were right about me. The depression, anxiety, and panic attacks were so bad that I could barely even breathe. I literally would wake up in the morning and the only goal, the only focus was to get to the end of the day, because that was the only time I wasn't tormented by those thoughts. That was the only time I felt like I could even breathe. I wasn't living. I was simply existing. Free falling off my ride. But thankfully, through this crazy turn of events, I met this random dude named Jake. A 6'3" jack dude, traps of steel, tree trunks for biceps, Garrett. I mean, he was jacked to the hills, bro. And he met me when I could barely look anybody in the eyes. And he would look me in the eyes and he'd say, hey, Corey, I don't know what it's like to live your story. I don't know what it's like to feel your pain. I don't know what it's like to go through the things that you've been through. But he said, this is what I do know, that just like a $100 bill, you can take it, you can crumple it up, you can spit on it, you can rip it in half, call it whatever terrible, disgusting name you want to call it. You can throw it on the ground, you can kick it around, you can put it in a stinking garbage dump. Then you can bend over, pick it up, uncrumple it, dry it off, walk up to any person, and they will gladly take it. Because it's still worth $100. He said that's the same for you, Corey. He said you may feel like just a crumpled up piece of trash. He said that people might see your mistakes, your mess, your situation, your fears, your regrets, your doubts, all of this mess that you've grown up in, and all this mess and the mistakes that you made, and see just a crumpled up piece of garbage. But he said you're worth the same now as you were before any of that stuff happened. He said you're worth the same now as you were before you went through all of that, before you did all of that. And at first I didn't believe it. At first I couldn't believe it, like maybe some of y'all. All I could see was all the stupid things that I did. All I could hear were the voices in my head saying, I will never forgive you. What are you even doing here? This is all your fault. All I could hear was, see, I told you would never amount to anything. See, I told you weren't good enough. See, I told you weren't going to ever get out of here. See, I told you I was right about you all along. Who are you trying to fool? All I could see were the best that I made and all of that stuff. And I would think, yeah, Jake, if you only knew, you wouldn't be saying that. I couldn't believe it. But he would say it day after day after day, and man, it started to break down that wall. And finally, I started to believe it, and it changed everything. And that's exactly why I'm here today. Because I get to tell you exactly what Jake told me all those years ago. See, I don't know your guys' stories. There's way too many in here to know them all. I don't know what you go home to at night. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you try to bury so deep to try to make sure nobody finds out about. I don't know what kind of things have been spoken over you and said to you to make you believe that you ain't worth even getting out of bed in the morning. I don't know what kind of things have happened to you that's got you wanting to give up and never try again. I don't know what kind of things have been said to you, done to you. I don't know what kind of mistakes you made. I don't know why you actually had to leave that last school. I don't know what you're thinking about right now or what you think about late at night when nobody else is around. I don't know what kind of things you wish people would tell you. I don't know who you're trying to desperately make proud. I don't know who you're desperately trying to get to love you. I don't know what kind of regrets and mistakes that you made, but this is what I do know. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you've said, no matter what you've done, no matter what's gone on in your life, every single one of you has value. I came here for a very simple reason today. Just to remind you, in case you forgot, that somebody loves you. And if somebody loves you, it means it's worth getting out of bed in the morning. If somebody loves you, it means it's worth doing the hard thing even when it's not the fun thing. If somebody loves you, it means you can get through all of that stuff even if it's not easy. If somebody loves you, it means it's worth getting back up even if you've fallen 20 times before. If somebody loves you, it means it's worth giving it everything you got even if people are going to laugh at you because of it. If somebody loves you, it means it's worth getting out of bed and giving it everything you got. If somebody loves you, it means it's worth it. You're worth it. Your dreams are worth it. Your goals are worth it. The person that you're supposed to grow up and become, they're worth it. The people you're supposed to impact in this world, they're worth it. The things you're supposed to do and accomplish, it's worth it. Somebody loves you. And that means it's worth getting back up even if you've been torn down a million times before, I promise you we can get through anything, but we don't have to do it alone. Somebody loves you. Somebody needs you. Never forget that. And if somebody loves you, it means it's worth giving it everything you got. It means it's worth having the hard conversations and doing the hard things and getting help for the substance abuse problem and getting help for the razor blade marks and taking school more seriously and practicing harder and listening to our parents and listening to our teachers and being a good friend and doing the right thing and making the right decisions. It's worth it. You gotta believe it. If you don't believe it, nobody can help you see that for yourself. You gotta believe it. I came here today just to remind you, somebody loves you. Never forget that. Thank you so much for letting me be here today and spend just a little part of my life with y'all. I love y'all. Have a good day. Have a good school year. Peace out, guys. Never forget, somebody loves you. Bye, guys.
Get your hands off.